years ago, I had a dream, and in the dream, a man came to me and basically said, ask the Lord for 3 wishes. And when I woke up from that dream, I pulled out my journal and I wrote down some things that I had been dreaming for in my family and in my personal life as well. And one of those things that I had written down was asking the Lord for restoration in marriages in my family. About a month after having that dream, I actually moved back to Florida and in with my parents and my younger brother. And I quickly realized that their marriage really was threatening and honestly had no idea what was going to happen with them. In January of 2011, my church did a corporate 21-day fast, and during that fast, I really had a hard time hearing the Lord speaking to me directly. And just after the fast ended, I was in my room one evening, and I was in my bed, and just as waiting before the Lord, just postured before Him, just really wanting Him to speak on my behalf. And I really just felt like the Lord said, this is the year of reconciliation in your family. And it totally shocked me in that moment, just not having heard His voice for a while and just that sweet thing that He spoke to me. I remember I just wept in my room because I was just in shock at how wonderful that promise was. About a year after asking God for those 3 wishes, my dad came to me and he said, hey, Alyssa, I really am having a lot of trouble with your mom. We're struggling. And I really think that it's best for me to move out of our house and get my own place. And in that conversation, my heart felt what he was saying, but really I was clinging to the promise that the Lord had already spoken prior to that this was the year of restoration in my family. I just kept to that promise and didn't really fear much in that time. In December of 2011, I really felt like the Lord clearly spoke to me in a worship meeting, will you wait 1 more year? And at that time, it was weeks before the new year, and I was believing, okay, this is the year of restoration. And for a few moments, I sat there and I thought, Lord, can I wait? Is it okay to wait? I really want this to happen now. And just after a few moments of processing with Him, I just thought, yes, I will wait 1 more year. It's worth it. I can do it. In January of 2012, I was on the phone with a friend, and I stopped mid-conversation, and I said, wait, I had a dream last night. And I shared the dream with her, and basically I walked out of my home in Florida, and my mom was watering the flowers. And I looked at her, and she looked at me and said, I forgot to tell you, your dad and I are going to be back together and living together in 6 weeks. And when I remembered this dream, it was like, oh my goodness, they're going to be back together in 6 weeks and living together. And at that time, I really took it as a promise from the Lord and something that I was believing for. So anytime that I lifted it up in prayer, it was like, yes, God, I'm believing for this promise. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen in 6 weeks or less. A few weeks later, my mom started spending less time at the house because she was over at my dad's place. And I quickly realized that something big was happening. My mom would send me text messages, hey, I'm not going to be at the house tonight. Will you let the dog out? Will you feed him? And it was amazing how quick things were happening in their relationship. They attended a marriage seminar, and I had no idea that it would be happening that quick. God spoke 6 weeks, but after 5 weeks, my mom spent the majority of her time at my dad's house, and what the Lord had spoken to me had finally been fulfilled. So my parents are back together, and I'm so excited to see all that God has for them. It has been such a blessing to be a part of this journey and this story for my parents. And I know that they're not perfect, but they're on a journey, and it's going to be amazing, and I just can't wait to see all that God has for their relationship.